The message came out of nowhere. I was sitting on the couch, half watching TV, half lost in my own thoughts. She was in the kitchen, moving around like everything was normal, like our life was perfect. Then my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I almost ignored it, but something told me not to. I opened it. Your wife is hiding something. I froze. For a moment I just stared at the screen, waiting for another message, hoping it was a mistake. Then it came. If you don't believe me, watch her tonight. My heart started beating faster. I looked up slowly. She was still there, calm, smiling, like nothing in the world was wrong. Dinner's almost ready, she said, without even looking at me. Her voice was soft, familiar. But now it felt different. I locked my phone and forced myself to act normal. Yeah, I replied. But inside, everything had changed. I couldn't focus anymore. Every small movement she made started to feel suspicious. The way she checked her phone. The way she turned slightly away when she smiled at a message. The way she didn't meet my eyes for too long. Had it always been like this? Or was I just seeing it now? We sat down to eat. Same table. Same routine. But the silence felt heavier than ever. I wanted to ask her. I wanted to just say it. What are you hiding? But I didn't. Because I was afraid of the answer. And maybe a part of me already knew. After dinner, she stood up quickly. I have to finish something, she said, grabbing her phone. Work, she added. I nodded. But I didn't believe it. Not this time. I sat there, watching her walk away. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel safe in my own home. I picked up my phone again. That message stared back at me. Watch her tonight. I took a deep breath. Because deep down, I knew I was about to see something I could never unsee. And whatever it was going to change everything. That night, I didn't sleep. I pretended to. I lay there with my eyes closed, my breathing slow like I always do. But inside, my mind was wide awake, watching, waiting. Next to me, she kept moving. Turning, checking her phone, typing. The light from her screen flashed again and again in the dark room. Every time it lit up, my chest tightened. I wanted to look. I wanted to grab the phone and see everything. But I didn't. Not yet. Because something inside me told me. If I rushed this, I might miss the truth. After a while, she stopped. Everything went quiet. I almost thought maybe it was nothing. Maybe I was overthinking. Maybe that message was just a lie. But then, she slowly got out of bed. Carefully, like she didn't want to wake me. My heart started racing. I kept my eyes closed, but every sense inside me was awake. Her footsteps were soft, light. She picked up her phone and walked out of the room. The door didn't fully close. Just slightly. Enough for me to hear. I waited a few seconds. Then I opened my eyes. Slowly. My hands felt cold. My body felt heavy. But I forced myself to get up. Quietly, step by step, I moved toward the door. And then I heard it. Her voice. Soft. Different. Not the way she talks to me. It was warmer. Gentler. Almost intimate. I miss you too, she whispered. Those 4 words. They hit me like a punch. I froze. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. My mind went blank for a second. Then everything came crashing down at once. I moved a little closer, careful not to make a sound. I'll find a way, she said softly. Just give me a little more time. Time. For what? For who? My heart was pounding so loud, I thought she might hear it. I wanted to walk in. I wanted to confront her right there. But I didn't. Because now, this wasn't just doubt anymore. This was real. Something was happening. Something I wasn't supposed to know. And in that moment, I realized something terrifying. That message wasn't a joke. It was a warning. And I had just seen the first piece of the truth. But deep down, I knew this was only the beginning. And whatever she was hiding, it was bigger than I imagined. The next morning, I acted like nothing happened. Like I didn't hear her whisper. Like I didn't feel my world crack in the dark. She smiled at me over breakfast. "You didn't sleep well?" she asked. I forced a small smile, "Just tired." She nodded and looked away. That was it. No guilt, no fear, no hesitation. That hurt more than anything. Because if she could act this normal, then whatever she was hiding had been there for a long time. I left the house that day, but I didn't go far. I parked my car down the street. And I waited. I don't know how long I sat there. Minutes felt like hours. My eyes stayed locked on the front door. Then finally, she walked out, dressed differently than usual. More careful, more prepared. She looked around for a second, then started walking. I followed. Not too close. Not too obvious. Every step I took felt heavy. Like I was walking towards something I didn't want to see, but had to. She didn't go to work. She didn't go to the places I knew. She took a different road. A quieter one. Less people. Less noise. And then she stopped. In front of a small cafe. Not the kind we ever went to. Not our place. She checked her phone. Took a deep breath. And walked inside. I waited a few seconds. My hands were shaking. But I followed her in. I kept my distance. Found a corner seat. And then I saw it. Her. Sitting across from someone. A man. He was smiling. Comfortable. Like he knew her well. Too well. She laughed. That same laugh. The one I hadn't heard from me in a long time. And then, she reached across the table. And held his hand. Everything inside me went silent. No anger. No shouting. Just emptiness. Because in that moment, I didn't just see betrayal. I saw the truth. Clear. Cold. Undeniable. But then something caught my attention. The way they talked. The way she looked around. Careful. Nervous. Like they were hiding more than just a relationship. And that's when I realized. This wasn't just cheating. There was something deeper. Something bigger. And whatever it was, I had only just stepped into it. I didn't walk up to them. I didn't make a scene. I just sat there watching. My hands were still, but inside everything was shaking. She laughed again, that same laugh. The one that used to belong to me. Now it sounded foreign. I watched the way she leaned in closer to him, the way her voice softened, the way her eyes stayed locked on his, like nothing else in the world mattered. Like I didn't exist. But it wasn't just that. There was something else. Something off. He slid something across the table. A small envelope. She didn't open it right away. She looked around first. Carefully. Like she was afraid someone might see. My heart started pounding again. This wasn't just a normal meeting. This wasn't just two people talking. This was hidden. Planned. Secret. She finally picked up the envelope, and slipped it into her bag fast. Too fast. Like she didn't want anyone to notice. Then she leaned closer to him and whispered something. I couldn't hear the words, but I saw his reaction. He nodded. Serious? No smile this time. That's when it hit me. Hard. I wasn't just being cheated on. I was being kept in the dark about something bigger. Something they both didn't want me to know. And suddenly, all the memories came back. Every time she hit her phone. Every late night. Every strange excuse. It all made sense now. Not just emotionally, but strategically. Like she was playing a role. And I was the only one who didn't know the script. I felt a wave of humiliation crash over me. How long had this been going on? How long had I been sitting at home, trusting her, while she lived another life right in front of me? I wanted to stand up, to ask her, to demand the truth. But I didn't, because something inside me stopped me. A new feeling. Not pain, not anger, control. If I reacted now, I would lose everything. But if I stayed calm, if I watched, if I understood the full truth, then I could take control. Real control. I slowly stood up and walked out of the cafe. Quietly, unnoticed, but inside me, something had changed. I wasn't just hurt anymore. I was aware. And for the first time, I wasn't going to be the one left in the dark again. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Because now I needed the truth. The full truth. Not pieces. Not guesses. Everything. That day, something inside me changed. The pain was still there, but it wasn't controlling me anymore. It was fueling me. I went home before she did. Sat on the couch. Same place as always. But I wasn't the same man anymore. When she walked in, she smiled. You're home early. I nodded, yes, slow day. She looked relaxed. Too relaxed. Like she had no idea I had just watched her with another man, taking something she didn't want me to see. That hurt. But it also made things clear. She thought I was still blind. That was her biggest mistake. That night, while she was in the shower, I made my move. Her phone was on the table. Unlocked. For once, I picked it up slowly. My hands didn't shake this time. I opened her messages. Scrolled. And there it was. The same number. No name saved. Just messages. Dozens of them. Then hundreds. I started reading. Each line heavier than the last. Everything is almost ready. He still doesn't know. We just need a little more time. My chest tightened. This wasn't just about emotions. This was something planned. Something bigger. I opened their media. Photos. Documents. Screenshots. And then, I saw it. My name. On a document. Something about money. Accounts. Transfers. I didn't understand everything, but I understood enough. They weren't just meeting behind my back. They were using me. My trust. My life. For something I never agreed to. For something I didn't even know existed. I put the phone down slowly. Took a deep breath. That was it. That was the moment. The moment everything became clear. This wasn't just betrayal. This was manipulation. A setup. And I had been standing right in the middle of it, without even realizing. But not anymore. I looked toward the bathroom door, hearing the sound of water. She was still inside. Still unaware. still thinking she was in control. But now, I had the truth, and something even more powerful. A plan. Because this time, I wasn't going to react. I was going to expose everything. And when I did, it wouldn't just change my life. It would destroy the illusion she had been living in. I didn't rush. That was the first thing I learned. When the truth is this big, you don't react. You prepare. For the next few days, I acted normal. The same man she thought I was. Calm, quiet, blind. But inside, I was watching everything. Every move. Every message. Every second she thought I wasn't paying attention. I copied everything from her phone. Messages, photos, documents. Sent them to myself. Saved them in places she would never find. I even went back to that cafe. Twice. The second time, I saw them again. Same table. Same silence between their words. But this time, I recorded it. Every look. Every exchange. And that envelope. I finally understood what it was. Bank papers. My bank. My name. My money. They weren't just lying to me. They were planning to take everything and disappear. That realization didn't break me. It sharpened me. Because now, this wasn't emotional anymore. This was war. I contacted someone I trusted. A lawyer. Quietly. Carefully. I showed him everything. Every message. Every proof. He looked at me and said, "You're lucky you found this in time." Lucky. I didn't feel lucky. But I understood what he meant. If I had stayed blind a little longer, I would have lost everything. We made a plan. Simple. Clean. Final. A few days later, I called her family. Close friends. People she cared about. And told them to come over. No details. Just that it was important. She looked confused when she saw everyone arrive. "What's going on?" she asked. I smiled slightly. "Just sit," I said. My voice was calm. Controlled. But inside I was ready. For the first time, I wasn't the one being played. I wasn't the one being lied to. I was the one holding the truth. The one holding the power. And as everyone sat down, I looked at her. Really looked at her. No love. No anger. Just clarity. Because in a few moments, everything she built on lies was about to collapse. And there was nothing she could do to stop it. The room was silent. Everyone was sitting, confused, waiting for me to speak. She looked at me uneasy. "What is this?" she asked. I didn't answer right away. I picked up my phone and pressed play. The recording filled the room. Her voice. Soft, careful, secret. "I'll transfer it soon. He still doesn't know." The moment those words echoed, everything changed. Her face lost color. Her eyes widened. "Turn that off," she said quickly. But I didn't. I let it play. Every word. Every lie. Every plan. The room grew heavier with each second. Her family looked at her in shock. Her friends sat frozen. No one spoke. Because the truth was too loud. When it ended, silence took over again. She stood up suddenly. "This isn't what it looks like." "Sit down," I said calmly. My voice didn't shake. For the first time, I was in control. She stared at me like she didn't recognize me anymore. And maybe she didn't. Because I wasn't the same man. I looked around the room. Then back at her. "You didn't just lie to me," I said. "You planned everything." Tears filled her eyes. "I can explain." No, I stopped her. You had time to explain, you chose not to. She tried to step closer. I stepped back. That small distance said everything. I trusted you, I continued, and you used that trust against me. The room stayed silent. No one defended her. No one could. Because the truth was clear. And this time, I wasn't the one being fooled. I took a deep breath. And for the first time in a long time, I felt free. I'm done, I said. Simple. Final. I turned away from her. Not in anger. Not in pain. But in peace. Because I finally understood something that changed everything. Betrayal doesn't break you. It reveals you. And in the end, I didn't lose anything. I removed what was never real. I walked out of that room lighter, stronger, untouchable, because now I wasn't living in someone else's lie. I was finally living in my own truth.